I would like to now turn to an old chestnut, but one that has been a favorite of mine since high school when I first read this poem. It's by Matthew Arnold, called Dover Beach. Probably many of you know it by heart. And I should probably be having you come up here and read it. Matthew Arnold died in 1888, and he had lived long enough to witness the initial explosion of the Darwinian Revolution and what hopefully would be the final triumph of science over superstition. And I don't know what Arnold's own religious views were, probably Dave knows, but he certainly was dismayed by the fading of the world of faith and this inexorable onslaught of reason and science. And so here is his poem, Dover Beach. The sea is calm tonight. The tide is full. The moon lies fair upon the straits. On the French coast, the light gleams is gone. The cliffs of England stand glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window. Sweet is the night air. Only from the long, long line of spray, where the sea meets the moon-blanched land, listen. You hear the grating roar of pebbles, which the waves draw back and fling at their return up the high strand. Begin and cease, and then again begin, with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound of thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. The sea of faith was once too at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. But now I only hear its melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind down the vast edges drear and naked shingles of the world. Ah, love, let us be true to one another. For the world, which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant arms clash by night. And lastly, I would like to read a fair number of excerpts from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, as translated by Edward Fitzgerald. It's hard to know how much of this is actually original with Omar and how much is Fitzgerald. You've read the Rubaiyat in the original. Yeah. Have you ever read Fitzgerald's translation?
Yes.
Do you think it's...
Some parts are his invention.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has to.
Yeah. Okay, well, now we know. Okay, here we go. The last thing. Wake, for the sun who scattered into flight the stars before him from the field of night, drives night along with them from heaven and strikes the sultan's turret with a shaft of light. Come, fill the cup. In the fire of spring, your winter garment of repentance fling. Bird of time has but a little way to flutter, and the bird is on the wing. Whether at Naishapur or Babylon, whether the cup with sweet or bitter run, the wine of life keeps oozing drop by drop. The leaves of life keep falling one by one. Each morn 1,000 roses bring, you say. Yes, But where leaves the rose of yesterday? And this first summer month that brings the rose shall take Jamshid and Kaikobad away. Well, let it take them. What have we to do with Kaikobad the Great or Khosrow? Let Zal and Rustum bluster as they will, or Hatim call to supper. Heed not you. With me, along the strip of herbage strown that just divides the desert from the stone, where name of slave and sultan is forgot, and peace to Mahmud on his golden throne. A book of verses underneath the bough, a jug of wine, a loaf of bread, and thou beside me singing in the wilderness. Ah, wilderness were paradise enow. Some for the glories of this world, and some sigh for the prophet's paradise to come. Ah, take the cash and let the credit go, nor heed the rumble of a distant drum. Look to the blowing rose around us. Lo, laughing, she says, into the world I blow. At once the silken tassel of my purse tear, and its treasure on the garden throw. And those who husbanded the golden grain, and those who flung it to the winds like rain, alike to no such aureate earth are turned as once dug up men want. When once, as let me read that again. I'm sorry. And those who husbanded the golden grain, and those who flung it to the winds like rain, alike to no such aureate earth are turned as buried once men want dug up again. The worldly hope men set their hearts upon turns ashes, or it prospers, and anon, like snow upon the desert's dusty face, lighting a little hour or two, is gone. Think, in this battered caravanserai where portals are alternate night and day, how sultan after sultan, with his pomp, abode his destined hour and went his way. They say the lion and the lizard keep the courts where Jamshid gloried and drank deep. And Bahram, the great hunter, the wild ass stamps o'er his head but cannot wake his sleep. Ah, my beloved, fill the cup that clears today of past regret and future fear. Tomorrow? Why, tomorrow I myself may be with yesterday's 7,000 years. For some we love, the loveliest and the best that from his vintage rolling time hath pressed, have drunk their cup a round or two before, and one by one crept silently to rest. And we that now make merry in the room they left, and summer dresses in new bloom, ourselves must we beneath the couch of earth descend, ourselves to make a couch for who? Ah, make the most of what we yet may spend, before we too into the dust descend. Dust unto dust, and under dust to lie, sans wine, sans song, sans singer, and sans end. Alike for those who for today prepare, and those who after some tomorrow stare, a muezzin from the tower of darkness cries, "Fools! Your reward is neither here nor there." By all the saints and sages who discussed of the two worlds so wisely, they are thrust like foolish prophets forth. Their words to scorn are scattered, and their mouths are stopped with dust. Myself, when young, did eagerly frequent doctor and saint, and heard great argument about it and about it, but evermore came out by the same door wherein I went. Within the seed of wisdom did I sow, and with mine own hand wrought to make it grow. And this was all the harvest that I reaped. I came like water, and like wind I go. Into this universe and why not knowing, nor whence, like water willy-nilly flowing, and out of it as wind along the waste, I know not whither, willy-nilly blowing. Perplexed no more with human or divine, tomorrow's tangle to the winds resign. Lose your fingers in the tresses of the cypress slender minister of wine. If the wine you drink, the lip you press, ends in what all begins and ends in, yes, yes. Think that you are today, know what yesterday you were. Tomorrow you shall not be less. So when the angel of the darker drink at last shall find you by the river brink, and offering his cup, invite your soul forth to your lips to quaff, you shall not shrink. Why? If the soul can fling the dust aside, and naked on the air of heaven ride, were it not a shame, were it not a shame in this clay carcass crippled to abide? 'Tis but a tent where takes his one day's rest, a sultan to the realm of death addressed. The sultan rises, and the dark Farash strikes, and prepares it for another guest. And fear not, lest existence, closing your account and mine, shall know the light no more. The eternal Saki from that bowl has poured millions of bubbles like us, and will pour. When you and I behind the veil are past, oh, but a long, long while the world shall last, which of our coming and departure heeds as the sea's self would heed a pebble's cast. A moment's halt, a momentary taste of being from the well amid the waste. And lo, the phantom caravan has reached the nothing it set out from. Oh, make haste! I must abjure the balm of life, I must, scared by some after-reckoning taken on trust, or lured with hope of some diviner drink to fill the cup and crumbled into dust. Oh, threats of hell and hopes of paradise, one thing at least is certain, this life flies. One thing is certain, and the rest is lies. Flower that once has blown forever dies. Strange is it not, that of the myriads who before us passed the door of darkness through, not one returns to tell us of the road which to discover we must travel to. The revelations of devout and learned who rose before us and as prophets burned are all but stories which awoke from sleep. They told their comrades and then returned to sleep. We are no other than a moving row of magic shadow shapes that come and go, round with a sun-illumined lantern held at midnight by the master of the show. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on. Nor all your piety, nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word. And that inverted bowl they call the sky, where under crawling cooped we live and die, lift not your hands to it for help, for it as impotently moves as you or I. Yet that spring should vanish with the rose, that youth's sweet-scented manuscript should close. The nightingale that in the branches sang, whence and whither flown again, who knows? Would but the desert of the fountain yield one glimpse, if dimly yet indeed revealed, to which the fainting traveler might spring as springs the grass, the trampled herbage of the field. Would but some winged angel ere too late arrest the yet unfolded roll of fate, and make the stern recorder otherwise in register or quite obliterate. Ah, love, could you and I with him conspire to grasp this sorry scheme of things entire? Would we not shatter it to bits and then remold it nearer to our heart's desire? Yon rising moon that looks for us again, how oft hereafter will she wax and wane? How oft hereafter, rising, look for us through this same garden, and for one in vain. And when like her, O Saki, you shall pass among the guests, stars scattered on the grass, and in your joyous errand reach the spot where I made one, turn down an empty glass. Well, I lied. I have a little poem of my own to end with. It's called Trailing the Sun. Westward shall I trail the sun beyond the bounds of day. Downward o'er the edge of earth I'll slowly slip away. When on the morrow in the east again the sun shall rise, do not expect to see me follow as the darkness dies. Between the sunset and the dawn a full eclipse there'll be, and though the dark set free the sun, it won't let loose of me.